All right. So, if you were fortunate enough to see the last time I tried this, basically I really fumbled everything. I had received a pair of headphones that were seemingly identical to my old Apple iPhone or headphones that came with my original phone, or two phones ago. Finally bit the dust, went through the wash too many times. Then I got some replacement ones, looked identical. Turns out they're complete shit, unfortunately. And that fucked the audio for the entire stream last time I did this. I'm hoping this is going to sound better. We're just using the mic off the phone this time, which is my setup for how I did my Sega streams. It should be okay. Anyway, so we're going to do, there's going to be two parts of this. First part is we have to go back through all of the cards that we pulled from those 5 packs. So that's that stack over here. And then this stack is going to be just generally, these are the cards I have as of now. And I kind of want to divide them into archetype or strategy. And we can kind of see if we can put some kind of deck together at this point. I think I can, but it's not going to be entirely 100% archetype cohesive. I have no archetype that's really got enough cards or enough to function properly. So we're going to make a Franken deck, basically. All right, so let's get into the good stuff. Okay, so first we had Marine Princess. So a lot of these came from, I had 2 boxes of, is it From the Depths? It's the water booster packs, the Legendary Duelist one. So I had a lot of water come out of those. And then the other were 3 Dollar General specials. And that's generally just a smattering of everything, with some fun surprises, which I'll just pull out now so we can talk about them. I got a handful of old cards, which is why I really like those, because it's about the only way you can find those anymore. These 2 actually, I believe, are older, but they came out of the other one. So these are the old cards I got. We have Cyber Shield, which I haven't looked at the price yet, but I know that Harpies are still, like, they have their own archetype now, and I just played it in Master Duel, and they did really good at kicking my ass, so I know they're still interesting. I got Kaminari Attack, which was a fusion back when I guess 1900 was okay for a fusion. I don't know. Not particularly popular, barely ever seen use, but, you know, it's an interesting card. It's an interesting time capsule. And then these 2, Kaiser Valento and, I'm going to say this wrong, Oferinda Derendiria. And as you can see, these are cards in Spanish, which I was warned would happen if I bought those packs, which I'm actually very happy to see happen. And I will include these in my deck, provided, of course, that if this is still a legal card, which I'm not sure. I think it may be on the ban list. I haven't checked the OCG ban list in a while. And then there's some Fishermen. We got Fisherman 1 and Fisherman 3, which I don't think I can use Fisherman 3. And this is just a card that stacks with Umi. Basically means it's invincible. Can't be targeted by spell effects, can't be targeted by attacks, but you can still be attacked directly. And then I think 3, can't be normal sets, must be special summoned by tributing legendary fisherman. Okay, so we can use him, we just have to tribute him. When you special summon, banish all monsters your opponent controls. Also, this card cannot attack this turn, cannot be destroyed by battle card effects, also not affected by traps and effects once per turn. You can return as many of your opponent's banished cards as possible to the graveyard, and if you do, the first battle effect or damage it takes becomes double. Okay. Interesting card. It's a bit much for us. What is that, 8? I can't. 7. I can't count. I don't think it says tributing 1. Okay, so I think this is one of the few 7-star cards that you only need 1 card to tribute. Okay. I'm just kind of going to separate these for a second because I have a few different archetypes that came out of this. I'll throw those guys just in the water pile. Okay. So that's generally kind of what we're looking at here. I don't remember how many cards it was. It was a 13 2 12s and then 2 7s. 24, 26, about 40 cards or so, I think, if my math is right. So we're kind of going to go through the bigger stacks and work our way down to the little guys. Some of these I don't really need to talk about because I already have them, like Binary Blader. I have another copy of already, so I've pulled him. Still can't use him because I only have one normal monster now. Amano Kajaki, also one I already have one of. I think that's the only ones I pulled that I had copies of already, if I'm not mistaken. And maybe one more in here. Oh, Amazements. The Amazement Ambassador Bufo. I already had a copy of him too. Alright, so let's start with the big pile here. We've got the water types, and this is kind of like a generic smattering, I guess, of waters. I don't think I see any other. So these are aquas, fishes. There's like 2 or 3 archetypes in here. This was my rare. It is I think a super rare, if I'm not mistaken, ultra rare, one of those. I'm still kind of like having a hard time. It's got the rainbow, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm having a hard time identifying. Like, I know the gold lettering is rare, and I know that there's super rare and ultra rare, but I don't really remember what the distinction is between them. Anyway, so it's not the biggest card on the planet for being a ultra rare. If you control a water monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You cannot special summon monsters except water monsters. The turn you activate this effect, You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target up to one water monster in your graveyard. Shuffle them into the deck. Only use this effect once per turn. Okay, so it's a good rebound. If something that you want to use is in your graveyard, you can basically put it back where it needs to be. But that's really all there is to it. Which I've from experience, you rarely get to that point where you need to get something back super fast, unless it's like gosh, I always forget his name. I feel terrible. Whatever that whale is, I really like. I haven't used it. I've been playing a lot of Master. I haven't busted my water deck out in a while. Okay, next we have an XYZ Nash Knight. This is also a shiny one, but it doesn't have the lettering. So I think this is a super rare, and I think this guy is an ultra rare. You can see the difference there. Okay, and this is 2 level 5 monsters. Cannot be destroyed in battle with a number monster on the field. During the main phase, quick effect, you can attach 2 material from this card. Attach 1 number XYZ from the extra deck to this card as material that has a number between 101 and 107 in its name. Then you can attach 1 face-up monster on the field to this card as material. So I guess that's just a easy way to both remove a card and like keep it out of your opponent's circulation. Like destroying cards these days, even banishing cards, isn't that big a deal anymore. And in fact, a lot of decks and archetypes work around it, especially fucking Tearlaments. That's the first one that comes to mind. So just taking it and shoving it somewhere is probably the best thing you can do. Like that, honestly, these days is pretty potent. Like the second being putting it back in the opponent's deck where they have to draw it back out or use another effect monster to bring it back out again. So Nash Knight, I'm going to take a look into that on Max Duel. I like that card. Okay. This is one I have. This is one I don't really use in my water deck because I don't use the XYZ cards. You can target 1 water monster you control, special summon from your deck in defense position 1 fish monster of the same level as that monster, but with a different name. If you do, it cannot activate its effects this turn. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck for the rest of the turn, except XYZ monsters. You can only use this effect of Buzzsaw Shark once per turn. If this card is used for XYZ summon a water monster, it can be treated as a level 3. Is that what it says? Yeah, level 3 or level 1 monster. Okay. So this is basically a speeder. It's the speed of the process. You get an XYZ back out there. The problem is I'm lacking fish, I think. So I'm not sure how useful that is presently. Here's Cyber Shark. I think I've used this one before. If you control a water monster, you can normal summon without tributing. Pretty good for getting an XYZ out there, right? Especially Nash Knight. And then full armored Black Ray Lancer. You need, so let's say 3. I don't know why that 3 is so hard for me to read. 3 level 4 monsters. You can also XYZ summon this card by using a rank 3 water XYZ monster you control that has no material. Gain 200 attack for each material attached to it. If this card on the field be destroyed by battle card effect, you can attach all materials from this card instead. When this card destroys an opponent monster battle, you can target 1 spell or trap and destroy it. Okay. So kind of a fairly standard kit for an XYZ monster. It doesn't sound like it has a way to refill its material, which is usually pretty annoying with XYZ monsters. So that's at least something. Okay, and the last card we have in the water pile is Lemuria, the Forgotten City. This is one of the Umi's All water monsters gain 200 attack defense once per turn. During your main phase, you can have all water monsters you currently control gain levels equal to the number of water monsters you currently control until the end turn. Okay, so this is how you get your level 5s out. If you're kind of confused on the Nash Knight, you just need 5 monsters on the field, and everything becomes a level 5. So, again, that's not one of the Umis I use. I think I used the other one. One of the other ones, I don't remember. But this is one of the ones for XYZ or Synchro, which is what the Ray robot weird things are. I'm not a huge fan of those because, like, I feel like if you have an archetype like plants, or like a theme, not an archetype, but a theme and an archetype like plants or water or fishes, you shouldn't have a fucking robot in that mix. You know, that just seems silly to me. You can have like a submarine. You can have transformers or like camouflage bots, but you shouldn't have like fish robot, you know. So that's why I've kind of been never really liked that archetype, but I like to use a lot of the cards as support for more of a general water base type deal. Okay, so the other archetype that came out of those From the Depths packs were the Murray Princesses. I didn't get any super rares or ultra rares off these. These are the only ones I got, and I only have 4 of them, which I'm not even sure I could really use. We'll start with these two first. So first we have Marine Princess Pascalis. It's weird that these are all cybers too. I don't really get that, where that's coming from. If this card is normal or special summon, you can special summon 1 Marine Princess from your hand in defense position, except Marine Princess Pascalis. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Marine Princess in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Only use once per turn. Okay. So, it's another generic setup one. That sounds a lot like a Tier Moment one, but every archetype has that kind of card. It's basically special summon 1 other one, and then once it's in the graveyard, you can do a thing. Why is this not focusing? Come on. Okay, so this is Marine Princess Wonderheart. 2 water monsters. Once per battle during damage calculation, if this card battles a monster, quick effect, you can special summon 1 of your Marine Princess cards equipped to this card. Be equipped to this card. What does that mean? And also, this card cannot be destroyed by that battle. You take no damage from that battle. Equip that special summon monster to this card during the end phase. If this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can special summon 1 Link 3 or lower Marine Princess. Okay, so I'm assuming that the Marine Princess can equip to each other, like the fucking letter heroes. I don't remember the names. Like the ZW guys, they can do kind of a similar thing, which is weird because that's just unions, right? That's basically what we're dealing with, but unions kind of are accepted as a failed concept, but they work here. I don't know. Okay, so Marine Princess Sleepy Maiden. Come on now. Okay, you can target 1 Marine Princess card you control, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, gains its effects. While this card's in the monster zone, the targeted card cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. You can banish the card from a graveyard, then target 1 Marine Princess Link monster you control. Equip it with 1 Marine Princess Link monster from your graveyard. Okay, so I'm kind of seeing a general concept with Marine Princess. It's using Link monsters, and it's using special summons from the hand, and equipping, I think, effect monsters. But the problem with that is the hand in that equation. My burn deck I'm running right now is like 1/3 actual damaging life point spells, and then the rest is just draw, and I still don't have enough draw power. And I'm not really sure how to improve that at all. It's just, I can't see Marine Princess unless they have like a whole bunch of drawing cards. I can't imagine they can do a whole lot. Okay, target one Link monster you control, return it to the extra deck. If you do, special summon one Marine Princess Link monster from the extra deck with the same Link rating, but a different name, but it cannot be attacked directly or destroyed by battle this turn. If you control Link 1 or higher Marine Princess, you can activate this card from your hand. Okay. So I'm probably not going to be using the Marine Princesses that much. I've never been a huge fan of the anime girl archetypes, and that's what this is. It's just a whole bunch of anime girls. Wonderheart would probably be a good splash just for the fact that you can use it with water types, and that's some decent attack in there. And it needs 2 or more. One thing I don't really get with these Link cards is why they still have arrows that point to things but no effect that uses them. That's kind of weird. So that was the general, that's like the biggest stack. Like if I was going to make a deck of water types, that's all the water types I've got for now, from that new pile of stuff I got. Alright, let's see. I think the next one will be the Warriors. I got 3 cards for Warrior archetypes. And again, this isn't one any particular, it's just generic. So this is Master of the Flaming Dragon Sword. When a monster is normal summoned to your side of the field, except Master of the Flaming Dragon Sword, you can increase that monster's level by 1. And this card gains attack, 300 attack until the end phase. So, it's okay. It's not terrible, I don't think. This was the other ultra rare I got. Now, the interesting thing, I got both of these from the Depths packs, and I looked specifically on the labeling. They didn't guarantee that you would even get a rare out of these packs, so I consider myself pretty lucky. Granted, they're not the most impressive cards on the planet, but you know what? They're nice to look at, right? You can kind of feel that slight indentation with the gold lettering on this guy. I like that. Okay, so this is Adia, the Heavenly Squire. If this card was normal or special summoned, you can special summon one monster with 800 attack, 1000 defense from your deck. In defense position, except Adia, the Heavenly Squire. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck for a turn. If this card was sent to the graveyard, you can target one of your banished monarch spells, traps, and add it to your hand. Can only affect once per turn. So that's a monarch archetype more than anything. So she gets her own little pile, I guess. Oh, I have, this is the other one I had extra. This is just reinforcement of the Armor's troops. It's declare an attack. You can special summon one level 4 lower warrior monster from your hand. I can only use it once per turn. So pretty good for throwing out one more special summon if you need one, but you have to assume that if you're doing that, you've got need of a level 4 lower warrior, and you kind of want everyone to survive that turn so you can actually tribute or use them somehow later on, which, you know, that's a stretch and a half right there. So let's kind of consolidate here. I guess we'll talk about the plants. The plants were the other ones I got a few of. I think I've got 2 archetypes in here and then just 2 generics. So first one is Perialis, Empress of Blossoms. I hate the names. I hate the archetype names, and I hate, like, everything sounds like it needs 6 syllables, and they just mashed a bunch of words together. Like Tearlaments. The fuck is a Tearlament? Sunvine, Paralyus, Heretic, Dan Mary. Like, some of these are just Japanese. Ghost Trick, like, I don't know. It bugs me. And it really bugs me when they get, like, too similar, like Ancient Machine and Ancient Gear, or Arc Fiend and Arc Villain. Like, it's just, there's too many that get too close together. And apparently Junk and Scrap are not the same archetype, but they're mentioned in the same cards. It's very weird. Okay, anyway. This needs a tuner and a non-tuner. It is a 7. Gains 400 attack for each plant monster you control, except this card. During your main phase, you can special summon 1 level 5 or higher plant monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position, except paralysis. You'll usually have 1 for turn. Okay, so pretty generic. Kind of a nice fitting in anywhere synchro, assuming you have a tuner for it, which I'm not really sure I do. So for now, she's kind of in an awkward spot where she needs, she benefits plants or benefits from plants, but she also needs a tuner to get on the field, which I'm not sure I have. Then we have a Predator Plant, which I was super happy to get because I love Predator Plants and I wish I had more of them. Sent to graveyard, add 1 Predator Plant monster from your deck to your hand, except this one. If a monster with a Predator Plant clenches on the field, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. Okay. So it's only a defensive, it's a wall basically. Hey, yeah, more Predator Plants. I want more of them. And then I got 2 copies of Bird of Roses. Face-up attack position card is destroyed in battle with an opponent's attacking monster and sent to your graveyard. You special summon 2 plant tuners in your deck. So this is, again, good synchros. I'm not sure I have a plant tuner. I'm going to have to go back and look for that. I think that's a rose archetype, actually, if I'm not mistaken. She kind of looks like she has roses on her, maybe. Oh. That's what that was, okay. And then we're just kind of getting down to the onesie-twosies now. A bunch of this stuff I really don't have any use for. Like, we've got a mutant card. I think I have maybe 1 other mutant. When you activate this card, you take 1 level 4 lower mutant monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or special summon it. If a level 8 or higher mutant monster you control would be destroyed by this card effect, or destroyed by card effect, you banish this card from you control. This card you control instead. Oh, it's a continuous trap. Okay. I was like, that's a weird way to phrase that. Mutants I would like to try out. I have 2 whole cards and I've not gotten a secret pack for them yet. So, in the bin it goes. We have Neroi, the Dream Mirror Disciple, which I have to say I'm not a fan of the anime cards. This one's actually kind of cute. The Fairy. If this card is on the field, you can special summon a card from your hand. Oh, if a Dream Mirror Monster. Yeah, like Dream Mirror Monsters and then Dream Monsters, I guess, are different archetypes. You can make this card become dark. Card special summoned by effect of a Dream Mirror Monster. Activate this effect. If Dream Mirror Joy is on the field, you can return 1 spell trap put controls to a hand. Also, after that, if Dream Mirror of Terror is on the field, draw 1 card and then shuffle your hand into your deck. This sounds like a very hard card to set up. Like, it just mentioned 3 different Dream Mirrors in one there to me. Which is Joy and Terror, and then something to special summon it, so I don't know. That sounds hard. We have a Phantom Knight, which I think I've used this guy before. Like, I've splashed Phantom Knights because they have some good effects on them. If this card is special summoned by field, or to your field, except during the damage step, you can special summon. Oh, if a Phantom Knight, you can special summon this card from your hand, then you can increase the level of this card by 1. You can banish this card from the graveyard, special summon 1 Phantom Knight monster from your hand, except this card. Then you can increase the level by 1. You can only use, okay, never mind. Probably not this one then, because that sounds like it's used for Synchro or XYZ, which I don't think I do a whole lot of splashing. Usually if I'm going to splash something, it's a fusion and it's like Cyber and Dragon or something. Because that card's just stupid how easy it is to throw out there. Okay, so this is Arcfiend's Staff of Despair. This is one of my new favorites. Equip to a monster you control during your main phase. You can make all monsters your opponent currently control lose attack equal to half the equipped monster's attack. Until the end of this turn, even this card leaves the field. If this card is sent to the graveyard or equipped to a monster, you pay 1,000 life points and return it to your hand. Okay, so this card, on the whole, it's kind of a, yeah, you know. You can equip it to an opponent's, like got the big sweeper out, like a 3,000 power, and make everyone lose by 3,000. But I've got another card, or I've got a few cards that actually build on this. So this guy we're going to set aside for right now. Alright, here's another rare I pulled, Seventh Eternity. Target one number XYZ monster you control that has a number between 101 and 107 in its name, or an XYZ monster control material, then activate effects and negate the effects of the monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to the targeted monster's attack until the end of turn. Or detach all materials from the targeted monster that you can special summon one number XYZ monster from the graveyard. Okay, I think this is actually, this goes in the water pile, because they mentioned a bunch of XYZ number monsters too. I don't think I have anything between 101 and 107. I'm going to have to go back and check. I know I have a number or two, but I'm not sure what ones they were. I got a couple virtual world cards, and I think these are the only ones I have. So we have a XYZ. This is Jaja. 2 level 3 monsters. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card. Then target one face-up monster you control. It cannot be destroyed by battle until the end of turn. End of your opponent's turn. Once per turn, after damage calculation, if this card battled opponent's monster will have 2 more monsters in graveyard of the same original type and attribute of each other, you can banish the opponent's monster. So basically this is going like a worm, because you're not going to deal with like that extra nonsense about type and attribute. Like, good God. Talk about a headache. And then we have Quinlan, the virtual world gate. You can banish one virtual card from the graveyard, then target one face-up monster on the field, negate its effects until the end of this turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add one virtual world monster from your deck to your hand, then send this card. Okay, so again, I'm not going to be using these two too much. Maybe to fill out the extra deck for that Jaja, but beyond that, I don't have any other virtual worlds. Got some Boojins, which I'm also probably not going to use because they need other Boojins to work properly. So first up we got Boojin, Mahu, Mahi, Tatsu. Send one other Boojin card from your hand to graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. You can activate one of these effects. Send Boojin monster from your hand to the graveyard and add one Boojin monster with a different name from your graveyard to your hand. Banish one Boojin from your graveyard. Focus, please. Thank you. Then add one monster with a different name from your deck to the graveyard. So that's just kind of a quick cycler, but here's the only other one I have of this. During your main phase, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard and target one Boojin monster you control. It can make a second attack. During each battle phase, this turn, other monsters can attack. During the turn, you activate this effect. And then, the reason why I'm not going to use these two, this would be good. This has no attack. Ergo, we're not going to use them. What else we got in here? We'll talk about that one next soon. We'll talk about this guy, I guess. This is a Flying Pegasus Railroad Stampede, which is a hell of a name. It is a Earth Machine, which is an interesting combination if you know anything about Earth Machines. Are basically an archetype to themselves. If this card is normal special summon, you can target one Earth Machine monster in your graveyard, except this one. Special summon it in defense position, but negates effects. You can target one other face-up monster you control. The level of that monster or this card becomes the level of the other. You cannot declare attacks this turn. You activate effects except with XYZ monsters. I'll use effects once per turn. So I think this kind of fits into either the heavy machinery ones or the tank ones. Those could be both for all I know. I don't remember. There's a lot of Earth Machine archetypes, I guess. The only thing I don't like about Yugioh streams is how much I have to talk. Alright, here's one we can talk about. Dual avatars. During the main phase, banish one dual avatar spell trap from your graveyard, except this one. This card effect becomes that effect when activated. Interesting card, don't have any dual effects or dual avatars, so binned for now. Do I have a bin pile? I don't think I do. We'll put it over here. This one's kind of neat. It's got a lot of fucking text. This is the Rank Up Magic 7th one. Yeah. To activate this card, you must draw it for your normal draw. In your draw phase, reveal it and keep it revealed until the start of main phase 1. At the start of your main phase, that same turn, you can special summon from your extra deck or graveyard one number monster that has number between 101 and 107 in its name, except number C monsters. Then special summon from your extra deck one number C monster with the same number in its name as the first number by using it as material. The second special summon is treated as an XYZ summon. Transfers materials to the summon monster. You can apply rank up once per duel. Okay, so what the fuck does it mean? So I'm assuming these are both XYZs. That's really weird vernacular. I don't know which one is actually the material, but we're going to shove it in the water pile. Because again, that seems to be the numbers adjacent, I guess. So, in it went. Sunvine Crossbreed. This is a plant card. Tribute one leak monster, then target one other plant monster in your graveyard. Special summon it, but get its effects. I'll use the Sunvine once per turn. I'm not sure I have any linked plants either, so a lot of just plants everywhere. Extra Foolish Burial. I know this card. This is a rare one too. Pay half your life points, send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, activate once per turn. Cannot. Okay, so this is just another way of getting a extra fusion out, basically. Tier Elements really likes this card, so we're gonna put it in like the generic useful card pile. There we go. That's that pile. Charge into the dark world. Or into a dark world. Target one level 4 or lower fiend monster in graveyard, special summon it, then discard one fiend monster. Okay. So two things. One, this is just a nice fiend card for your fiend deck if you're just running fiends instead of like an archetype. Two, this looks like one of those flavor cards where you have two other cards or two characters from other cards clashing and kind of telling a story, which is a neat little thing that Yu-Gi-Oh artists like to do. They like to tell, like, they'll give you a comic book frame for one of the card arts. Here's a Geonator Transverser. It's a rock. 2 effect monsters. And it's a link too. So this linked card and monsters it points to cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. If this card points to 2 monsters, you can switch control of those monsters. Okay, this is a good one, and it's going to go in the generic good pile. Because, again, it's one of those extra deck cards you can just kind of throw in and splash. And it will do wonders, hopefully. A lot easier to bring out than the binary blade guy, because effect monsters are far more abundant. Spriggan's Blast. If you control a Spriggan's monster, choose one opponent's main monster zone. If a monster is face up in that zone, during the next turn it cannot attack directly. Also, its effects are negated. If no monsters in that zone, it cannot be used. If you control a fusion monster, lists fallen off all battles as material. You can choose 2 zones instead. So, yeah, don't have Spriggans. So, nuts to that. In the pile it goes. Barrage Blast. Once per turn, you can attach any number of materials from machine XYZ monsters you control, then target that many cards on the field, destroy them. If machine XYZ monster you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card and one machine XYZ monster from your graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the banished monster's rank times 200. That could be good if you have anything that pertain to that, but it's going to go in the Earth Machine pile. because most of the XYZ machine monsters are Earth. Kind of, again, fitting in that very wide, generic archetype. There's like 3 archetypes that do the same thing. Okay, here is Hieratic Dragon of Adam, and this is my 3rd ultra rare, I think. Very nice looking. It's a decent card, too, which is different. 2 level 6 dragon monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, or summon 1 dragon monster from your deck. Make its attack and defense 0. This card cannot attack during the turn you activate effects. Okay. Interesting card. I don't think I have any level 6 dragons with it, so binned for right now. I need to go back and check that one's value. I don't think I did. One thing, I'm never going to sell any of these cards, but it's just kind of fun to see, like, oh, did I pull a card that pays for the cost of the pack or not? Magical Broker. Spellcaster. If you control a continuing spell trap card, this card cannot be destroyed by battle card effects. During your opponent's turn, you can summon 1 face-up trap spell. You control a graveyard, draw a card. This is far more useful than you might think. I'm going to put him in the useful pile, like the useful generics pile, because getting rid of continuous spells sometimes is a lot harder than you may think, especially if your opponent's not playing ball, right? Like this guy here. We can kind of put these 2 together. What if you don't have any more level 4 warriors in your deck, and you know you've already got them all out, or you don't need them? Well, this is just taking up one of your 1 of 5 back row, so, you know. So he's good. I like him. And drawing a card is always super good. Like I said, drawing power is always, you never have enough of it. Ghost Trick Nekosume. Cannot be normal summon unless you control a Ghost Trick monster. Once per turn, you can change this card to a face-down defense position. A level 4 higher monster is normal summon. Special summon, change that monster to face-down defense position. Must be another Ghost Trick monster on the field to activate. And this girl goes right with the other Ghost Tricks that all need the other Ghost Tricks to work. In short, they don't. Because I still don't have the Ghost Trick. I don't have just a regular Ghost Trick that can get on the field without something else. Kind of dumb. Alright, Fencing Fire Ferret. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, target 1 face-up monster making controls. Destroy that target. If you do, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. This is one of my favorite cards now. It's just a nice little effect. Destroyed or sent to the graveyard. Yeah, like, I'm thinking like, what's that card called? Something Torrent, or a Pit Trap, or, you know, just any combination of, like, just destruction cards. Well, that's a good little backlash card right there. He's in the useful generic pile now. My favorite ferret friend. Here's Fable Treason. Target 1 Fable monster in the graveyard, or 1 face up in the field. Discard 1 card if you do. Special summon that monster from your graveyard. If you do that, destroy that card on the field. Bend, don't have Fabled. And I'm beginning to realize, like, a lot of these are beginning to sound really familiar. I'll be damned if archetypes aren't just a way to sell you the same card you already had, but with a specific archetype name in the effect that prevents it from being useful literally anywhere else. Like this guy. Donmari Ignister. When an attack is declared involving your Ignister monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, negate that attack. While you control a Link 6 monster, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard, then target 1 face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of turn. Only use this once per turn. This is a weird one. I'm assuming it has to do with being level 6. Link 6 is a kind of a fucking hard thing to get to, unless you have like a wombo combo you can put in for it. But yeah, don't have Ignisters. Binned. Unfortunately, here's the bin pile. It's getting pretty big now. And finally, this is my last super rare, I think. This is Dances with Beasts. When your opponent monster declares a direct attack while the combined attack of all face-up monsters they control is 8,000 or higher, special summon 3 monsters with different original names in attack position, 1 each from your hand, deck, and graveyard. You can only activate once per turn. So this is a fun one. This is like end game. This is probably the closest thing I get to an end game card right now. And I will find a way to make it work one day. So that's all the new cards I got. So put him over there with the Fiends. He's going to go there. So we're going to kind of divide up and sort out cards now based on things that they do. Put these guys up here because I don't like I have Ghost Tricks and I may have a few other, I may have a Spriggan or two, but I don't have enough to justify using any of those cards. So they're going to go up there. Virtuals. And then we're going to also have a pile for general strategies. Generic useful guys are going to be in their own, because I kind of feel like they're going to go anywhere in a good deck. They'll be good anywhere they go. I guess this was that pile up there. So we got Mutants, the Dream Mirror guy, and Phantom Knight, because those all require named archetypes. Then we've got plants. We're going to kind of leave on their own little pile, because I would love to have a plant deck. Then we've got warriors right here. She can go in the warrior pile, I guess. She can't do anything with her effect, but yeah, he's going to go up on the top because I've got no fusion for him. I've got no harpies. Kaiser is going in, and yeah, we'll just put those in the good pile until I can figure out what I'm doing with final offerings, I think it was. Then we've got the water types, which are pretty abundant. Right there. No, he was earth. I don't think I have any other water types, do I? They're all kind of in the same pile now. This is Fiends, I guess. Just generic Fiends. Bougians are going to go up here because I don't have any other Bougians. Then we're going to have one for a Maze. This is a tuner. We're going to put her the Fiends, though, for right now. And then Binary Blader is going to go up top because I have one whole normal monster. Alright, so now we've got the big pile to dig through here. And we're going to basically do the same thing. We're going to identify whether or not a card is useful, or it's a specific archetype in which it's going to go in the top row or somewhere else out of way. That's kind of my idea for what's going on. And I'm not going to go through all of these and read the effects unless it's something really interesting to me. Because again, I've already done videos and streams on most of these cards. I think all of these cards actually now. See, here's a number card. I think that's the guy I was thinking of, but he is not pertaining to any of the other ones. So we'll go right there. Alright, so lightning round. Celestia is worm card, so we're actually going to put this with Jaja. Reinforcements, that goes back with warriors, wherever warriors went. Right here. Ogdoic, whatever you fucking say that shit. Only works with reptiles. I might have a reptile. Let's put that aside for right now. Maybe. Special summon Rose Dragon. Don't have a Rose Dragon, unfortunately. Armor Dragon Ritual. Don't have an Armor Dragon, so that's binned. Armed Dragon. Okay, so this is one of the ones I'm talking about. Armor Dragon, Armed Dragon. What's the difference? Target one Armed Dragon. Don't have any. Ice Jade. Don't have Ice Jades. Dull Happiness. Don't have any of those. Dogmaticas. I got a lot of Dogmaticas because I opened a bunch of packs from Chaos Battle. So we're going to have a Dogmatica pile here. Birth of the Prominence Flame. Target 2 fire monsters. 1/2 and 1 non-tuner with 200 defense in the graveyard. Banish both monsters. If you do special summon 1 fire synchro monster from your extra deck with the levels equal to the total numbers of those monsters. Okay. Don't have that specific. Okay. This is one thing I don't really enjoy from archetypes. One, you have the named cards, like this shit, right? All these require some kind of named card to actually function. Then you've got these, where they don't name the card, but it's like, gee, where am I going to find a fire tuner with 200 defense? Probably that archetype. Branded. I think I played Branded today. I forget what we went into. Fucking Dyadics? Was that what it was? I don't remember. But I think I played someone and lost to him today. Don't have any Branded though, so away he goes. Dogmatica in the Dogmatica pile. Surprise Chain. I've got 2 of these, and these are, I think, pretty good. These go for links, right? Chain link to a higher, apply the following effect. This is a quick effect? No, it is a quick effect spell. So these are fun. They're going to go in the generic pile. Because you never know when you get into like a real good like Uno game during your solitaire game. Shino Bird. Spirit monster you control gain 500 attack defense. So if a wind monster you control gets returned to the hand, you can add 1 spirit monster, a ritual spell card. I'm going to kind of set this aside because I think it might work with some winds, but I don't think I have any spirits, or we'll come back to that one. Synth Amplifier. I don't think I have any of those. Dynamorphia. Just a little clump of those guys because they do weird things, but we'll come back to them. They like have your life points or something. I've never really screwed around with them. Scareclaws, I think I have 2. So we'll set him off to the side for right now. Dynamorphia. Simor, I think I have like 3 of these. So yeah, we'll kind of put him off to the side for right now. Oh look, Phantom Knights of the Shadow Veil. Target 1 face-up monster you control. It gains 300 attack defense when an opponent monster declares a direct attack while this card is in your graveyard. Special summon this card in defense position as a normal monster. Warrior Dark, level 4, 0 defense, 300 attack, or 0 attack, 300 defense. If summoned this way, banish this card when it leaves field. So kind of a nice little dual purpose. I'm going to put it with the Phantom Knight because it's got Phantom Knight in the name, but it's not terrible. Okay, here's an Amaze Attract. So you can draw a card. Okay. So it's an equipable trap card. That's interesting. There he goes. Icy Breeze. I'm Confident Wind Witch. Yeah, I don't have any of these. Ancient Warrior. Don't have any of those. Another Dogmatic. I think I have like 5 of the same fucking card of Dogmaticas. Get up there. Judgment from the Branded. Target 1 level 8 fusion or a higher fusion monster total destroy all monsters opponent controls equal to or higher attack than that monster during end phase. Fallen of Albaz. Yeah, that's it, Albaz. The Spriggans. Is it the Spriggans? It might be the Spriggans, because they keep asking for Fallen of Albaz. Where'd Spriggans go? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put these guys together with the branded stuff. Again, not going to use them because I don't have any Fallen of Albaz or whoever. Yeah, so we got 3 of those, actually. Backup team. I actually really like this card. This is good for drawing. So basically, this... you draw the amount of cards that your opponent has. Yeah. However many cards your opponent controls, you draw that many cards, and then you put that many cards from your hand back. So it can be useful, especially if you still have a decent-sized hand. Not as useful if you don't have a hand, because you basically have to put everything back you just drew. But it can be, you can actually recycle it from your graveyard. You can put it back in your hand, use it again, and then it gets banished. So, good generic card, that one. Omega Judgments. Target 1 face-up monster you control in this spell. So that's one of those ones, what was Crystal Dragons, I think. They were able to go into the spell zone. Can't say I've got anything that works with that, unfortunately. Warrock Generations. Don't have a Warrock monster. Tribe Drive. If you have 3 or more different monster types on the field, you can choose 3 monsters from your deck with different types from each other, but with the same types as the ones you control. Then your opponent randomly chooses one of them for you to either add to your hand or special summon. Also place the remaining on the bottom. I'm about out of power. I'm going to have to wrap this up soon. Bottom of your deck in any order. Once per turn. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to wrap this up soon. Shit. Put that in the maybe pile. Dynamorphy again. And those guys out. These guys right here. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to have enough time. I've only been streaming for an hour, and my phone was at 85%. I don't have a cable that's long enough, so unfortunately. The big thing is we got through all the new cards. That's what I wanted to take care of. Here's a Ghost Trick. Put that in the Ghost Trick pile wherever she went. There she is. If your life points are lower, if your LP is lower than 100, draw 2 cards. If they're lower than 10, draw 2 more. Jesus Christ. Okay. That requires like a specific card to get you. Like, I don't even. Oh man. What could hit you for like 90? That's so weird. If one controls a monster whose current attack is higher than its original attack. Draw 2 cards. Okay, you know what? So we're gonna just wrap this shit up a little bit. So here's the thing I wanted to talk about. I've kind of got a strategy going so far. In here, right? Archfiend's Staff, where'd it go? Here he is. Okay. So this guy, it basically reduces attack. And you might think, oh, that's not that important, or not big a deal. Especially if you've never played, was it reptilians, they do the same thing, right? But I have a bunch of one particular card that, on the whole, doesn't seem that interesting, but has an interesting effect if I can find them. Holy shit, you've gone. Hold on. Of course, in my hour of need, he abandons me. Holy shit, he's just gone. Where the hell is this card? There he is. Darton, the mechanical monstrosity. I've got like 3 of these. Okay, once per turn during your main phase, you can check the difference between the current and original attack of each monster on the field, add up to the total of each of those differences, and make this monster's original attack become that combined amount until your opponent's next turn. Whew, baby, that can get interesting. So let's say you put these 2 together. Only to a monster you control. Make all monsters your opponent currently controls lose attack equal to half the equipped monster's attack. So you want something big. You want a big boy. I don't even know if I have a big boy. Oh, let's grab somebody. Here we go. Heretic Dragon, right? So let's say you have your Heretic Dragon. No, you know what? This guy is a little easier, I think, to bring out. Yeah, you've got your 2300 Ignister, and say your opponent's got 3. Fuck, I'm making this hard for myself. Hold on. Back to the dragon. No, that's number. Where the fuck did dragon? Here he is. So say you've got this guy, and you put the Archfiend staff on him, right? Now all your opponents are losing 24 or 1200 attack, which isn't a lot, right? You're thinking that's not that big a deal. Then you've got this guy. That's 3600 attack, just right there. Just right there. And it can get sillier than that. I got 2 of these motherfuckers. I think I have more than that. I got a bunch of these guys in here. So there is potential to be silly. But like everything with Yu-Gi-Oh, it comes with the caveat that you need the hand traps and the ash blossoms. Well, you don't really, because I've been kind of playing with that today. I've been playing burn, just straight burn, and I've taken all that crap out. Because, number one, it fills in, it's like 20 cards out of your deck. And you've got 20 more spots that you can put things in, or you've got 40 if you want like a 40 or 60 card deck. My personal philosophy is just take those out. Let your opponent play and build for the idea that they're going to get that big stupid monster out on the field. You know, have something to play into that. That's my general thought process. So anyway, that's really the interesting idea I've got now, and I guess I need one more thing, which is a big monster, like maybe this guy, Rock Scales. That's some decent. I don't think I have anything over 2,000, honestly. I'm lacking big monsters right now, so I guess that's one thing to look out for. Anyway, we'll do more deck building. I'm probably gonna get more card packs now. I think my most valuable card I've still got is my Dictator of D. This guy right here. He's worth a whole $2 on him. Yeehaw. So yeah. That's all I've got for right now. Fortunately, we didn't get through the entire pile. And the question remains unanswered of, can you make a viable deck just from boosters, this modern standard? Maybe. You definitely can't make an archetype. That's for damn sure. It seems like it's easier using legendary duelists because it seems like there's only like one or two archetypes you can pull from. Like I had two yeah, I had two sets of 2 water packs, and I got a huge stack of water types who've disappeared on me now. Wherever they went. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm tired. Good night, Godspeed, God bless, whatever. Deuces.